You know, this happens to me every no-cut event, right? I'm just sitting there thinking, I don't like this week. I don't want to play. And by the time Wednesday rolls around, I'm throwing 150 extra lineups in there like a effing degen that I am. What's up, guys? I hope you're new guy. I'm the Degenerate 75. I'm a high-limit PGA DFS player and soon-to-be NFL and college football DFS player that is trying to help you not be so bad at all this stuff. And so what do I do here? I teach you how to fish, and I don't just give you the fish. So what I'm going to do here is walk you through the preparation for the BMW Championship tomorrow and try to give you some tools to be more successful at it and not be a donkey dick loser. And, if you come to enough of these shows and you watch enough, you might just pick up a couple things to not be the free money, right? And, enjoy DFS a little bit more when you don't have to constantly deposit every week. That's the goal here. That's what we do. But you do need to remember that I'm independent AF, right? I'm just bootlegging this stuff out of my mom's basement right now. And, I could use all the support I can get. So if you just go drop a like and a sub, because you can't help but notice there's no ads on this channel, brother. There's no ads. And all I ask in return is that you just go drop me a like and a sub. And if you're not sure you want to like it, well, then watch for a little bit. And then when you like it, then maybe drop me a like. I really appreciate it. You should know I do this every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time Zone. And if you're one of those East or West Coast elites, you remember that Central Standard Time Zone is the Lord's time zone. So we will always be in Central Standard Time Zone. I will never change. I will not give in to you East and West Coast snobs. But don't forget, I do the Showdown hoedown too, right? That's kind of my thing. We break down Showdown because if you don't know, Showdown PGA is one of the biggest advantages there is out there. And so because of that, every Friday and Saturday night, you can expect round 3 and round 4 Showdown. And for all of you worried about me going to football, you look me in the eye right now, you motherfather. Showdown hoedown ain't going nowhere in the fall. It's still going to be my number one show. I will still prioritize it above any college football or NFL football show I do because not only do you have a huge showdown at PGA Showdown, you have the biggest edge at fall at the swing season, right? Why is that? Because all the sharks are playing football and giving their attention to that. So you best believe Showdown hoedown will be around, and there is a great fall slate, and it has all kinds of slapdick players, and that is advantage us because we'll take the time to go look them up and not be like, well, I haven't heard of that guy, I'm not playing him. We're not going to do that. So don't fret. You stay with me. The Showdown hoedown, the emergency stream every Wednesday night will never go away forever. Deal with it. Deal with it, big guy. Hey, new guy, you see that thing right there over my shoulder? That's a big wheel. I'm going to be doing a big-ass drawing at the end. All you had to do is go leave a comment. Well, not on this video, but on the Showdown videos. Or just go retweet and like my stuff over on Twitter. If you don't see I'm the Degenerate75, go give me a follow over there. You'll get a free $20 ticket that I will make with you. We will enter it and split all the profits 50-50. That has been going really well. Last week was the first week I didn't have to PayPal at least 2 or 3 people. So that's been going really well. I'll also do one for all my Discord members too. So there's that. You definitely got to hang around. You're probably saying, hey, do it right now. I could. You want me to hit spin real quick? No, new guy, because then you'll leave, and I'm trying to get you caught on the hook, right? Because that's what we do here. We fish, and I'm trying to fish for new people that like my shit. So stay around, man. You might enjoy it. And so with that said, you need to know one thing. I drink a lot of ranch water. See, it says ranch water inside. Oh, look at that. The degenerate on the other side. Is there ranch water in here tonight? No, there's not. You need to know this. I'm fasting right now. I'm currently 75 hours into my fast. I was going to go 120, and I had some members of my Discord join me. And I had 2 of them try to do the whole week with me. They're already bailing out at 48 hours. I respect it. Fasting is a hard game. But I also had 6 other people agree to do a 48-hour fast with me. So thank you to all of those guys. You know who you are. I can't remember all your names, but you're my homies. So thank you for helping me get there. But now that I have nobody in it, the first thing I'm thinking is I'm going to go get on the scale tomorrow morning. And if I like the number I see, fuck it, I quit. If I've lost my 15 pounds in 4 days, I'm done. I'm going to Chick-fil-A and getting some nuggets. So that's what's going to happen. There you go. I've been fasting. So I don't have the ranch water tonight. All this energy is just straight ketones, brother. Okay. I'll shut the fuck up and welcome. Hey, new guy, I got one question for you, brother. One question, brother. It's the simplest question ever. I know. You're going to get picked on a lot tonight. This won't be your first question. It won't be your last question. Here we go. Have you made your lineups yet? I'm talking to you, big guy. Have you made them? You have, haven't you? You got excited. You started seeing how soft the pricing was and how you could get, oh my God, I can put Rory and Rahm and Cantlay in a lineup. Oh my God, this is the greatest week ever. How could I possibly lose? You've made them, haven't you? And you're committed to them, and you love them, and you got your donkey chalk Trey Mullinex down there, and you just, you live for it. Oh, you got the best lineup going, all the money, aren't you? You're killing me, new guy. You should never make your lineups until after you watch this show, because I'm going to be going over some stuff that's going to kick you right in the nuts. And if you're not ready to answer my hard-ass questions tonight, you ain't ready to win this week. Okay, so next time, I'm going to let you have a pass because you're the new guy. But from now on, you don't make your lineups till after you watch this. And I hope I can tell you a little bit about why you were a donkey dick for making these prior. So let's get going, new guy. The first thing we always look at is contest selection, which, by the way, contest selection, you can't help but notice I just casually had football up to remind you that the football content is about to start coming out hot and heavy, but not until I get through these golf playoffs, because golf is number one in my heart. But I got to tell you, I've been doing some best ball research, and I'm kind of getting into it. So here we go. Let's go check out golf for tomorrow. Let's go check out total prizes, and let's sort. This 4444, the 4444 tournament, if you play in this, I really hope you won a free satellite ticket into it, because if you're just paying that money, you were either A, really rich and have the money to blow, so congratulations to you, big guy, or you're a fucking moron. That's the only two people playing in that, right? So, or I guess there's the third people, the people that want a satellite, right? You should never play in that. I mean, unless you have a satellite or you're rich. And if either of those, good job, dude. Good job. This is what I really want to talk to you about. I'm not going to go over a lot of this, new guy. A lot of my listeners already know this. I preach it all the time. I'm actually going to put out a top 5 reasons you suck at DFS video, and this is going to be one of the things I hit on. But, everybody sees this $1.2 million $20 thing, and maybe you're one of those guys that's like, yeah, I put $100 in every week, and I'm going to go toss my 5 lineups in this, and I'm going to win me $300,000. First of all, no, you're not. Okay, you're not going to win. If you put in 5 lineups into a 70,000 person tournament, you would expect to win that about once every, what would that be? You'd have a 1 in 14,000 shot of winning, so 14,000 times the 40 weeks. About every 350 years you should expect to win this. That's if you're playing 5 lineups every week, 40 times a week. So good luck with that, big guy. Good luck. I mean, people are living longer, I'll give you that. And then another thing to look at about why this is a terrible payout structure is, like, go divide 10th place by first place. And you want that number to be close to 10-1. So if first place is getting 300,000 in a good payout structure, 10th place should be getting roughly 30,000. That would be 1/10. But that's not 30,000, big guy. That's 3,000. So that is 1 to 100. So let's say you spike the fucking nuts and you have an amazing lineup and you're like, yes! And you get 9th place in this tournament. Out of 70,000 people, you got $3,000. That's only enough to max it. That would only be enough to max enter this tournament again next week. That is a horrific payout structure. You should not be playing in these. So then what tournament should you be playing in? You should be playing in single entries. You should be playing in 3 maxes because, first of all, they tend to have better payout structures. Second of all, there's smaller pools, or smaller contests, so you have an actual shot of winning and not a lottery. But most importantly, you're not playing your 5 lineups versus 150 of mine. You don't want to play 150 of my lineups against 5 of yours. It will not go well for you in the long run. That is a very negative EV play. Lastly, DraftKings, I'm going to give it up to them for doing this 222. They're doing the $40 and the $6. They're really cool. If you don't know, it's just like a normal GPP. You're still playing to win first place and get your $50,000, right, in the 222. But what they're doing is if you play in this every week, your cumulative finishing points will go towards a leaderboard at the end, and they will give you bonus points on where you finish. So say you finish you get like 3 top 100 finishes in this. I imagine you're going to get a bang load of DK dollars at the end of this. So make sure if you played in the 222 last week, you're playing in it again this week and you play in it again next week so that you're getting all those cumulative points. Same thing with that $40 and same thing with that $6. And it should be pretty easy not to confuse those because the 222, the 40, and the $6 there's no other tournaments that are that amount. So you should know specifically that is for the leaderboard special, right? I'm playing in all 3. I think they're cool. So kudos to you, DraftKings. Appreciate you, brothers, for doing something fun. All right, new guy, here we go. What's the first thing we check in our preparation for the week? What is the first thing we check? Come on, new guy. You already pissed me off. Good job, man. Look at you. We finally got some good new guys in here. That's right. It's the weather. Now, the problem is with this is there's not a traditional morning and afternoon. They're just sending them all off like it's a Saturday or Sunday in twos, just going off from the first tee, and it takes 6 or 7 hours to get them out. So there will be kind of a morning wave and kind of an afternoon wave, but there's also kind of like a middle wave also that we don't normally see because we don't have that 2 to 2.5 hour window that delays between the AM and the PM like we see in most tournaments. So let's go check it out. We're looking at Windfinder, and we are, if you don't know, this is Wilmington, not Wilmington, North Carolina, where all my people live, but Wilmington, Delaware. Yeah, first state. Let's go. A push. Thursday, what do we got? Pretty moderate all day. Not too hot, not too windy, no gusts. Friday's even better. If you wanted to try to get a weather edge, well, I ain't seeing one there. Don't get cute. There's not one there. But you know what, new guy? We're adults. We're going to check more than one site. Let's go see what our buddies at Willy Weather are telling us about Wilmington. Oh, my God. It's getting up to a blistering 5.8 miles an hour tomorrow. And then, oh, my God, Friday gets up to also 5.8. So we're seeing nothing there. We'll go to the Weather Channel. I have heard they do weather. And it's always nice to check more than two because we're not part of that Wikipedia generation. Over here, I am seeing blistering 8-mile-an-hour winds. Yeah, I'm not too worried. I just don't see anything to go chase there. Maybe they're saying that it gets up to 10 miles an hour Friday afternoon. But, man, that's just no reason to get off your picks or to pivot because of wind. No one loves a good wind narrative more than this big guy right here. I will chase it so hard, like possibly too hard. But I don't give an F. Because I don't got picks. I just play the game. And it sucks when I can't play the game because Mother Nature's not helping me. But it is what it is. There's not one there this week. I don't see it. Maybe you can see something with your magic eyes, but I will warn you, I'm from Oklahoma. We are the weather kings around here. All right, so there's no weather. We've went over contests. Let's see. Oh, hey, I got a podcast, and not enough people listened to this one this last week. I think it got buried. Me and Jason Roslin, my dude, my first Twitter friend ever, had a tremendous conversation. Just go search the Degenerate 75 podcast. It's called Degenerate 75 Talks Golf with Smart People. I'm already on episode 5. I've had amazing guests like Brick 75, Awesomeo, Andy Lack, all kinds of amazing people. Rob G, almost forgot him, right? Amazing. And my guest that's coming on this Sunday, I still need to confirm with him, but he doesn't strike me as a dude that's going to let me down. Real big guest. Probably the one I'm the most excited about because I've always kind of viewed him as like, are we the same? Are me and you the same? Except he's really nice, and I'm not really nice. All right, so go check out the pod, please. Leave a 5-star review. You'll get 3 names on my big-ass wheel at the end. Just go 5 stars, say something nice. This it's cool. Let's get to what keeps the people coming back. It's the ownership. I spend way too much time on this ownership. Way too much time. And so I do all the ownership for all the members over on my Discord, right? I post it for the VIPs over there, and they get to see it. I'm not going to show you all those. It takes way too much work, and they deserve more than you. So here you go. These are the top 8 most owned guys, and then I selected 4 others that were convenient for me to talk about, right? I'm not going to go over everybody, but I kind of like to classify people into 3 categories, right? If you're on the highest owned, you are, I guess, by definition, chalky, right? Just because a lot of people are playing you. But we have to be smart enough to differentiate between chalk. There has to be donkey chalk, which new guy is like the worst chalk. That's like vomit in my mouth chalk. What are you doing with your life? Then there's chalk, which is like, I don't like it, right? But I get it. You know, like you better be very committed to that guy to play that chalk. And then there's okay chalk, which I've thought about renaming, right? Because technically chalk is never really okay in the Degenerate 75's world. But how about maybe I should name it acceptable chalk, but then I'm going to have to scoot that bar over more because that's a long word. So maybe I should call it like acceptable chalk, like I won't judge you, all right? So let's go over this. First of all, the highest owned is no surprise. With Cam Smith withdrawing, ownership this week got super, super soft. It was already soft. And in a no-cut event, pricing is already soft because people don't mind going and playing the $6,100 guys, right? And so pricing is disgustingly soft this week. And because of that, we know one thing. People are going to spend their salary, right? People are going to spend their salary. And there's only 4 guys over 10,000, or maybe there's 5. 4 or 5, what the fuck ever. They're all going to get ownership, right? There's really from Morikawa up, I don't think there's anybody that will come in super low owned where you're like, just go play this guy, just go play X, and you will have all the leverage. Those guys don't exist. You got to get below Morikawa at 9,400 before you really start to see the great pivots this week, right? And so who's going to be the highest owned? Well, just naturally, people are going to spend their salary, and these guys tend to fit the narrative that this course is going to be this week. So I got Jon Rahm and Rory McIlroy coming in this week as the 2 highest owned guys. Scotty Scheffler does seem to be catching a lot of steam today. Would not surprise me if he gets up there, right? But right now, this is the last projections I did, I have him at 21%. And so now let's start talking about these guys because all 3 of these guys fit different categories for me, right? Actually, let's go ahead and throw Cam Young on there. Cam Young's the first guy you really got to get to before you start to see some high ownership in a position where people don't necessarily have to spend their salary. You don't have to have an $8,900 guy in your lineup, but you need to have guys over $9,500 just to fill out your salary, right? So Cam Young, first example of donkey chalk. Well, what makes him donkey chalk? It's pretty simple. First of all, he's the 4th highest owned guy. Could arguably end up being higher. We'll see how tomorrow shakes out. These are the average sellers for what I think will be in the big $5 and the big $20. He is right around guys that there are clearly pivots all around him. I mean, all around him that are legit 1/2 to 1/3 his ownership, right? So that makes him super, super donkey chalk, in my opinion. But let's go take somebody like a Scotty Scheffler, who is technically higher ownership, but I would actually classify as okay chalk. Wait a second. How come he's higher owned and he's like okay chalk and he's bad chalk? Well, first of all, everybody around Scotty Scheffler is like 16% or higher. So to pivot off of him to logical people around him, there's really nobody you're picking up tremendous leverage on by moving to, right? You could move to Will Zalatoris or Patrick Cantlay or Tony Finau, but all those guys are right at his ownership or just below. It's not a huge pivot, whereas Cam Young has clear pivots that are way lower owned than him and, in my opinion, are just as good at golfers who might just be in a funk. Not to mention, Scotty Scheffler is, some people have said, the number 1 player in the world. If I can have the number 1 player in the world and it's at moderate ownership relative to the guys he's around at that tremendous price tag, it's not like he's 11-2. He's 9,800. He is completely mispriced and somehow isn't 30% this week. So to me, that makes him okay chalk. Like, I can eat that. Just listen to me, new guy. I have him at 21%. So what I need you to do is play him in at least 2x your lineups, right? If you're going to play Scotty Scheffler, you make sure you have him in 42% of your lineups. You got that? So if he does come in at 21% and you played him and he does well, you have leverage on the field. You're not just paying the rake that DK wants, right? So that's what you do. Now, let's go up to somebody like Jon Rahm, who's at 23%. I would call him chalk, right? Because like he's not horrific chalk. He's not crazy. He is the highest owned guy on the slate by my projections. These could change. But if he is going to be the highest owned guy, and you've got guys right around him that are just as good, that I think have just as much win equity and could do well, and you're getting 5 or 6, 7, 8 points lower on the ownership scale. To me, that's kind of like, all right, I get it. If you want to play Jon Rahm, you think he's going to win, well, then you absolutely play him. But to me, that's kind of chalk, right? It's not disgusting chalk, like what are you doing with Cam Young? But it's also not like, that's okay chalk like Scheffler. It's chalk, right? So there's an example of all 3 of them. Now let's scoot down and let's talk about some other guys. You can see most of these guys that are up here on the high ownerships are just the guys that cost the most. And that's just natural because people spend their salary. So I highlighted some guys down here I wanted to talk about. Joaquin Niemann is one I've been going back and forth on all day. He is definitely chalk. He is 15.2%, which is noticeably higher than the guys just below him and just above him and just below him. And so because of that, he is definitely at least chalk. The question is he donkey chalk? And I think that my final answer is he is just chalk. And the reason why is you are getting a world-class talent, Joaquin Niemann. I think he's legit almost a top 10 player in the world. And 15% is not ridiculously high ownership overall. He is noticeably higher than the guys all around him, right? He's much higher than Spieth, Lowry, Homa, all those guys right around him. Decky are all just above him and below him, sandwiching him, right? And those guys are all just as good. But I would say, that's not like you're a moron if you play it. Just be committed to it. You better really love some Niemann, because if you don't love Niemann, then let me just ask you one question. Why would you not just go play Lowry or Spieth or Decky or who else did I say? Homa, right? If you're not in love with Niemann, those guys are going to be noticeably lower ownership and are essentially almost as good of players, if not better than him, right? So that's why he would be chalk. But my boy Cam Davis, and don't get it twisted, I'm a Cam Davis dude. I got him coming in at 13%, which doesn't sound that chalky, right? But this is where the community often misunderstands chalk. Chalk is how high your ownership is relative to the guys around you. And I could name 3 golfers right around him that are all at least half his ownership. If he's coming in at 13, 14, he may even, momentum may push him all the way up to 15% by the time it comes out tomorrow. And I could go get a guy like Davis Riley at 5 or 6% or whoever. There's multiple guys to pivot off of him to him there. That to me makes him donkey chalk. Okay, if there's guys that I can get at 1/3 his ownership, 1/2 his ownership, who are legitimately just as good of golfers, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing? That's just the definition of donkey chalk. Somebody like Taylor Pendrith, who I really like this week, I was so sad to see that he got some ownership. He, to me, would fall into chalk, right? He 11%. Most of the guys around him are coming in at like 7, 8, 9%. So he is a little bit higher, but not so ridiculously high that if you love Taylor Pendrith, you should get off of him. If you love him and that is your dude and you want to play him, you play him. Okay. But if you have any hesitation or you're just lukewarm on him, why would you play him when you could pivot to a guy right next to him that's going to be legit 2/3 his ownership or 1/2 his ownership? It just doesn't make sense. if you can't see my narrative tonight, if you can't see the point I'm trying to preach, it's if you love a guy, you play him basically no matter what, okay? I don't know why, but like if you love Cam Young, you go play him. You just make sure to get him in 42% of your lineups. And then the last one is Grillo. And believe it or not, Grillo is what I would call donkey chalk. He, by my projections, is coming in the highest of all the under 7K guys. And I love Emiliano Grillo. He was one of the first guys I clicked this week. But with pricing being so soft, there's not a lot of need to dive down into the 6Ks this week. Even for people doing stars and scrubs, I think at most they're going to dive down there and get 2 of these guys below in the 6Ks. And so because of that, for ownership to pool on any 1, 2, 3, 4 players, and there's a couple others down there, but I'm not giving them all away. You fucking go check out my Discord if you want to know them all. It just doesn't make sense that Grillo is the most owned guy down there. I have all kinds of guys I could give you down in the 6Ks that have the exact same upside as Emiliano Grillo and will be 3-4% owned. You're telling me that Emiliano Grillo is 2 or 3, 4 times more likely to outperform some of those other guys in the 6Ks? None of these guys suck. There are no slapdicks this week. They're all top 70 players, right? So they're all at least good professional PGA golfers. So to eat Emiliano Grillo chalk, to me, that's just the definition of donkey chalk. And yes, you're a new guy. You're probably thinking, he's not even 10%, man. That ain't no chalk. Yes, it is. Chalk is not about the total percentage that they are. Rory McIlroy is 22%, and I don't even really consider that chalk. I think that's a pretty fair ownership at his price for how good he is. But Emiliano Grillo at 10%, you don't have to have that motherfather in your lineup, and you don't even have to kind of have anything close to him in your lineup. So the fact that 10% of people will fall to Emiliano Grillo is disgusting when there's just as good of players above and below him that will be legit 1/4 his ownership. I'll never get it. So to me, he's donkey chalk. So there you go. There are some examples of some guys that are good chalk, bad chalk, and okay chalk. You want me to go over all these? Too effing bad. I ain't going to do it. I already did that on my chalk report. I'm not doing it again. As you can see, there's all your highest owned guys. I only did the top 8 this week because I wanted to talk about these 4 guys specifically. There are more chalk donkeys down there, but I'm not going to go over them all because this is only an hour-long show, brother. By the way, get over there in the Q&A and everybody, right? And make sure on your Q&A to put a question mark, because if I don't see a question mark, just go edit it real quick. I won't ask it because there's going to be like 500 comments over there, and I can't read every single one, right? Okay. By the way, I keep talking about my Discord. If you want to support the channel, if you want to support this YouTube channel that I run completely for free, help me pay my editor, or just get some more exclusive content, because I do way more shit for those motherfathers over there than I do on here, go check out the Patreon. There will be football package coming soon. If that's something that interests you, go over there and check it out. If you're like, I don't got no money to give you, it's cool, brother. Just keep coming back for the free stuff. All I ask is that you like and sub. That's all I want from you, man. It's cool. I get it. All right, here is my model. If you're looking at my model thinking this is the truth, a new guy, you need to understand, I don't really give a fuck about models. I think they're the most overrated thing in PGA DFS. To me, you should use them to kind of get an idea of maybe some general stats you want to look at and go, pick a thing or two from each guy that may draw you to a guy. So naturally, what I end up using my model for is to find sleepers. That's what I like to use it for. And to me, you can see Rory is number 1 in the model. Oh, what a surprise. Rory McIlroy is number 1 in the model. What are you going to tell me? The sun's going to fucking rise tomorrow? Get out of here. You get out of here with that, you motherfather. So, of course, good players are going to be good in the model, right? Tony Finau's number 2. John Rahm's number 3. How shocking that all the best players are good in the model. Blow my mind. And this is why people arguing about what categories they have in their model. Oh, I put this in my model. Your categories are wrong. Bro, the model's going to basically spit out that the better players are better and the worst players are worse. This is why you shouldn't even look at overall rankings, right? Which if you love overall rankings, Shane Lowry, Joaquin Niemann look really good in my model. Taylor Pendrith looks like a god in the model. These are guys that are way higher than they should be versus their salary, right? The degenerate. All right. So things I'm taking away from the model is, what I really looked at is I wanted guys that play long courses hard and guys that play no cut events, right? Because I think that's a real stat you need to look at. And I really wanted guys who've been ball striking and had strong approach recently. And more than anything, I weighted bent grass putting more heavily this week than normal because everybody's guessing about this course. But the one thing we fucking know is it has bent grass. And when you have bent grass, we know who putts well on bent grass. So those were some things, those are some major things I was looking at, right? I also, I looked at driving distance and I weighted it more, but I also want to see good drives, which is how often they put it in the fairway, or not in the fairway, how often their drive leads to them getting a green in regulation. So usually it's in the fairway, or it's, in the first cut where they at least have a shot to get a green in regulation. That's all that is. And then, I checked out some distances because I think there will be a lot of long irons, but you can see I didn't weight those very heavily. So that's it. I didn't look at a lot. Can't look at course history because the motherfathers have never played here before. Big takeaways from the model is what I would say is like, let's just talk about a couple pivots, okay? Here is a great example of some pivots. Colin Morikawa, I have coming in relatively high this week. I think like 19% if I just had it on the other screen, right? But like right below him is Sam Burns and Victor Hovland, which will probably be more in like the 12 to 13% range. So ask yourself, is Colin Morikawa 50% to twice as likely to outperform those two guys? Is he? I don't think so. So consider that, right? And then here's some other ones. Did you hear about Tom Kim today? Tom Kim's and his caddy split. So that is probably going to lower his ownership. To me, news like that actually makes me like him more. But you do have to be afraid. Is this guy playing over his head? This was a guy we had winning tournaments at 7,200 not too long ago. Now he's losing the most stable thing that he has. Maybe Tom Kim is not a good play this week. But if you're an aggressive mofo and you're not scared of news like that, this is a time to get even more on him. But just know it could backfire. You want the ultimate backfire play this week? Go check out Decky. My dude Tambo today. Heard him on Mayo Show talk about his source who nailed Hideki being sore the first time, said that he is kind of being sore again with the neck or the back or whatever it is. So Hideki, I'm leaning towards is probably going to be like 4%. And Hideki at 8,400 at 4% is insane. But you got to be ready to, if you want to give 25% of your lineups to Hideki, just be ready for that money to go down in flames because there's a decent chance Hideki's going to withdraw. I would say at least a 25% chance he withdraws. That's what I would say. All right. So other guys, just growing down here, guys that the model really likes. The model really likes Corey Connors, but that's because I focused a lot on ball striking. To me, Corey Connors or Tyrrell Hatton, I got Corey Connors coming in at quite a bit higher owned. These are the pivots you need to ask yourself if you want to make. Russell Henley, the one that everybody loved. 55% of people played him last week in the high dollar stuff. And he missed the cut. So he will be low owned this week because people hold grudges in PGA DFS, which is stupid as fuck. The fact that he missed the cut, he was like one of the first 3 guys I clicked this week, right? Love the bounce back guys. Cam Davis right here, he's going to be higher owned than all these guys around him, right? I think Keith Mitchell is starting to get a little bit of momentum. But like, let me just ask you, like, is Cam Davis really better than Davis Riley? Is he really better than Brian Harman or Russell Henley? Like, maybe upside he has it, but just like, is he twice as likely to outperform them this week, which is all we really care about, right? We're buying long on his career. We're just playing for this week. Is Cam Davis twice as likely to outperform Brian Harman? Billy Horschel. There's no way. There's no way. Maybe in the long term he has a bigger, career arc, but I just don't see it for 1 week. There's no way. Let's see. Other guys, you want a disgusting one? You want just a disgusting sleeper that no one will play that you can have at 2% ownership? Alex Noren. I'm just telling you. Like, if you want him and Bez, no one is going to play this week. They're a little too high priced for the quality of play you're getting, and there's a whole course narrative that they're short hitters and they can't keep up. But I will tell you, Bez does play well in no cut events, and he plays long. He plays well on long courses, and he's a tremendous bent grass putter. I can't believe Sepp Straka is not getting any love. Sepp. Let's see. What did Sepp do the last time we saw him? Last time he came off of a big round. Or a big one. So so after he did great at Honda, he did miss the cut at Arnold Palmer. After he did great at Heritage, he did miss the cut at Wells Fargo. Okay, now I see why people are bailing on him. But if you think, hey, Sepp can keep it going this time, this is the time he keeps it going, just makes a lot of sense, right? Stallings, Grillo, Wyndham Clark, Munoz, this is a little pocket of ownership right here. I would not put more than maybe 2 of those 4 guys in your pool, and I would play them at least 20% to have leverage on them. Oh, Taylor Moore also seems to be getting some ownership. But like Taylor Moore over somebody like KH Lee, he's 4 times more likely to outperform Mark Leishman. New guy, you got to answer these questions. I've already answered them. I know the answer to my test. But I'm asking you, is Sebastian Munoz, Wyndham Clark, Emiliano Grillo, and Scott Stallings 4 times more likely to outproduce Mark Leishman? Are they twice as likely to outperform KH Lee? Are they? Because if they are, maybe you need to slip into my DMs and give me a little 4-to-1 action. Big guy. Let's see. I really love the $6,200 range, and between Mullinax, Putnam, Steele, and Tringali, surely you've heard one of them is super chalky this week, and he is the one I like the least. So fade the chalk and give me all the pivots right there, right? That's what I will be doing. And if you want just a couple other disgusting punts to consider Alex Smalley. He's just a ball striking SOB, and when you don't know how a course is going to play, the one nice thing to always fall back on is ball striking. Lucas Herbert can get roasty hot, and if a guy can get roasty hot and he's guaranteed 4 rounds, who cares if he finishes T38 if he gets you 22 birdies, especially at 6,100, right? And the last one, just notice, Mackenzie Hughes, he's 4th in bent grass putting, and he actually picked up on approach last week, the first time he's done that in a long time. Ooh. Make sure you guys get over there, get your questions in. We're about to move to Q&A. Let's see. So that's the models. Who is the one guy I am definitely not playing this week? That is so easy. I think he is the worst chalk on this whole board. His name is Cam Young. I like Cam Young. I think he's good. But, like, you're telling me that he's twice as likely or 3 times more likely to outproduce Spieth or Kim, Lowry, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here with that. There ain't no chance. It's just a leverage play. And when we're playing in a no-cut event, literally the only advantage is to play leverage. So you get out of here with your 20% owned Cam Young. You get right on out of here. Got to get a drink. One guy I'm definitely playing. Well, the one guy I'm definitely playing this week, I'm actually playing one guy in 100% of my lineups. I just can't get off him. I love him like a fat kid loves a chocolate cake, which I shouldn't talk about seeing I'm fasting. But I'm not going to tell you who that one guy is because I don't want his ownership to get any higher than it's already going to be. He's a little chalky. That's why I just decided to play him at 100%. Because if you're committed to a guy, it doesn't matter what kind of chalky he is, you just get leverage on him. And my leverage is I'm going to play him in every mother father lineup. That's how it's going to be. So the one guy I'm definitely playing this week is, are you ready for this new guy? The guy you're not playing. Because all I'm doing this week is pivoting. That's my narrative. You want to play this guy? I'll play this guy. You want to play that guy? I'll play this guy. You want to play this range? I'll play this range. So who am I definitely not, or who's the one guy I'm definitely playing this week? The guy you're not playing, okay? You're like, oh, I could never play that guy. He's looked bad. I'll play that guy. That's who I'm playing, new guy. Welcome to the party, brother. All right. Don't forget to go like and sub. That's my YouTube channel. We flew past 1.3 thousand subscribers. Well on our way to getting big numbers. We just keep growing every week. I always like, who are these people that just randomly subscribe to my channel on a Monday? It always blows my mind. And I'll be having some evergreen content coming out. If you don't know what that is, that just means stuff you can watch forever. I already got a couple Q&As up you could go watch, and I'm doing the top 5 reasons you suck very soon. It'll be my first edited video. It won't be free flow like this. Yeah, I can't even say it. That's how hard it is. All right, you guys ready? Let's do it. We're going to spin. This is for my this is for all the people that retweeted and left comments on my YouTube videos or retweeted over, and you win a free $20 ticket. Hey, I know that guy. I know that dude. Billy, he's always retweeting my shit. Love it, Billy. Me and you are making a lineup tonight. If I can't get a hold of you tonight, which I know I'll probably be able to get a hold of you, we are going to do one. We'll do one Sunday at Showdown, okay? Let's go ahead and also do my Patreon one. They get a $100 single entry into the Sunday Showdown contest. You know, and you're like, why do they get a bigger one? Because they're the fucking Patreon. Don't ask stupid questions, new guy. Get the fuck out of here. All right, the winner is Mark Pollard. I know that cat. I know that guy. Good people. And then I'm going to do one over here because I really appreciate you guys being in the chat tonight. I know that interest is lower this week, so you guys being here and hanging out with me this long is pretty cool of you. And the winner for the actual chat over here to do a $20 ticket with me is Matt Smith. Hey, Matt, you're my mother father, man. Let's go. Let's go. All right, that's it. That's the drawing. Reach out to me or reach out to my editor. Either one. Let's get that set up. I would reach out to you, but honestly, I still got to go make my lineups tonight. I got to go make lineups with all the other people who've won before. And, I only got like so many hours in the day, bruh. All right, let's see. Let's go back. I'm going to the very top, starting all the way back at the beginning with questions. Here we go. Hey, what's up, motherfathers? What's up, Ninja Turd? What a name. What a name. All right, here we go. Travis Swinson, always my dude. Appreciate you always being here, my man. What's up, DJen? Have you looked into Mr. Hogue at all? Sir, I have not looked into Mr. Hogue. Wait, is he even playing? What's his price tag? What's Hogue's price tag? But there's no Bo Hogue playing this week. Are you messing with me? You messing with me, fool? I don't think he's playing. Mr. Hogue. Okay, maybe I'll have to come back to that question, Travis. Maybe I'm missing something. Is he playing on a different tour? I don't know. He's not playing this week. Hey, what's up, new guy? What's up, brother? Let's see. Questions. Can I watch this and play Rory? Nick, you are allowed to play Rory this week, and I've got great news for you. You ready? You ready? I'm probably not playing him, so you know he's going to smash. You know he's going to smash. I played him last week, and I fucking mushed that motherfather. I mushed him. All right, here we go. Moving on through some questions. Let's see. Brian says, thanks for the shout-out. Brian, I don't know if I gave you a shout-out. Maybe somebody in the chat did, but Brian's good people. You should definitely listen to Tap In Birdie. Have me on. I'll have him on here one day whenever I figure out how to have guests. I'm not to that level. I do guest on the pod, but, man, there's only so many hours in a day, bro. All right, here we go. Rick Roll wants to know, what are your thoughts on Kurt Kitayama this week? Warm. I am very warm. I love that price tag, and I like that he is not coming in. Holy cow, can I sort? He is not coming in too highly owned. And whenever I'm looking for a guy like that, I just look for little things I like. Like, generally speaking, his ball striking has been up over the last 24 rounds, and he has good driving distance, and he's good at long irons. So that's enough for me to at least be interested in him. So I don't love him. I don't know if he's in my pool, but I'm not gonna knock. He's worth a play in a no cut event, especially at low ownership. Jason, you motherfather, look at that. Look at that. Jason making sure my editor gets paid. Jason, me and my editor, thank you. I appreciate it, because somebody has to make all these thumbnails and somebody has to post all this shit. And if you think I got them kind of skills, you know nothing. You know nothing. So I really appreciate you, Jason. That's very cool. Super chats are always welcome and appreciated. You're good peoples. Jesse says, where's the ranch? Oh, it's right here. See, ranch water inside. It's just minus the ranch tonight because the big guy's fasting. All right, let's keep it going. What do we got here? Oh, look, I already thanked him. I guess my editor's in there doing that because I sure shit didn't do it. I was talking. Nick, you fucking animal. Nick, you and your super chats every week is getting unbelievable. Truly appreciate you. I know it's easy to give me big old fat super chats when you keep winning like $10,000 every week. If you want to, this guy could just put out a tout site where he just gives outright winners, and like, what is it? 3 weeks in a row, I think he's hit at least like $8,000. It's incredible. It's incredible. He doesn't share them with me, and even if he did, I can't bet my piece of shit state anyways. All right, moving on. Appreciate you, Nick. You're good peeps. Marty Plumstead. Nope, newbie here. Hey, Marty, welcome to the party, buddy. Glad you're here. Don't forget to go like and subscribe. We're trying to grow the channel, man. No ads. That's all I ask. That's a fair deal. All right, that's really hard on your heart. Stop fasting. Jeffrey, I got to tell you, brother, we're not going to get into science, but fasting has turned my health around 180 degrees. I swear by it. I don't preach or try to get anybody else to do it. But to me, it's there's many ways to be healthy. It is the way for me. That's it. I appreciate you looking out for me, though, bro. We'll just from my favorite movie of all time, Anchorman. Actually, it's not. It's my favorite comedy of all time. Agree to disagree. All right. SDP wants to know, could we possibly go wrong with Trey Mullinax? I mean, Trey Mullinax, golly, I played him last week. I played a lot of Trey Mullinax. He was one of the few things I did right last week. And I get why people want to play him, but it's fucking Trey Mullinax, man. Like, what are we doing? He's all of a sudden the guy I can't get off of, right? Like, if somebody told me this week, I am too scared to not play Rory, or I am too scared to not play Scotty Scheffler, I get that. They're world-class players that if they're coming off a cut, they're pissed off and they're focused, they're going to go dominate this tournament if they have their A game. Trey Mullinax could have his A+ game, and he's not going to dominate shit. Okay, and if he comes out with like even his B- game, easiest fade ever. I'll just play that Trey Mullinax isn't going to have his A+ game and get T13. You get out of here. Uh-oh, Billy redacted a comment. You hate to see it. Who do you project will be the lowest owned golfer you will roster? Oh, you sneaky scallywag. The lowest owned guy, let's see. I'm trying to think who is low owned down here. Mackenzie Hughes. Mackenzie Hughes, I'm going to play. He will be the lowest owned guy. I have him at like 2.5%. There you go. See, some of these sleepers I tell you guys to go check out, I actually put in my pool. My pool is 23 players. I think I'm doing about 158 lineups. I'm doing 150 in the big $5, and then I'm doing a couple $200 single entries, $100 single entries, shit like that. And, of course, I'm doing the Discord League, which I had a string of top fives going until last week when I think I finished like 58th. It's a fun league. There are over 100 people this week. Very competitive. Week numbers so far, disappointed by the DGen Army. Yeah, Dustin, people just aren't feeling it this week. What are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? I didn't even put my numbers up so I could see. Secretly, I always like, Sanjeev. I secretly always make a lineup in case I forget to put him in. Have slept through a few contests. Embarrassing. Hey, that's a great idea. Always go put a generic lineup in, even when you're reserving 100 lineups or 20 lineups, because we have all forgotten. I do it all the time on FanDuel where I'll just go reserve lineups and then forget to do them because I spend all my time focusing on the DraftKings lineups. So you should just always put a dummy lineup in there. And when I say a dummy lineup, that doesn't mean go throw in the 6 cheapest guys. That means just like go throw in a lineup with real players that are going to be in the tournament that use up all your salary. So if you forget, at least you have a fighting chance that you just randomly pick some good golfers, which for some of the people in this community would be better than what they actually do. All right. 1% Trey Moley was beautiful while it lasted. Yes, it was. I had him at all kinds of high limit stuff last week in the $200, and he was very low. I enjoyed it. Wilmington, North Carolina, the people. All right, here we go. I finished 640th in last week's 222. Should I bother playing again this week? I mean, how many people are in that stinking thing? Let's see. In the 222, there's 1,500 people. I mean, that's an above average finish. Look, if you get one top 5 finish, you're going to catapult to the top, right? You're going to be way up there. So I would definitely play in it if you have the money. If you're just chasing those bonus dollars at the end and you don't really feel comfortable playing $222 lineups, well, that's very simple. Then don't play it, brother. Don't play it. Marty, thank you for the kind words. You're my new friend. We just try to get one new one every week. Actually, I'd like 10, but we'll take one. Let's see here. You nailed it with the snug M and Connor's round 3. Oh, that reminds me, man. Let me go to I don't even know how many people are still here, but to all the people watching, this is what I would say. This whole week is basically a showdown, right? When there's no cut, we're just playing glorified showdown that takes 4 rounds, right? So I would highly implore you to consider maybe scaling back how much you do in week long and save more money for Saturday and Sunday showdown, because those edges will still be there. There will still be idiots overplaying, form on Saturday showdown. There will still be idiots overplaying, fake finishing points on Sunday. And so we can still take advantage of that. But here, there's a decent chance you're going to have a lineup in the top 10 in some GPP Sunday and you won't even cash. That's how big the ups and downs can be in this, right? So I would encourage you to maybe cut your bankroll back. I definitely cut mine back, and I'm going to put more into Saturday and Sunday showdown. All right. Let's see. I donkeyed off all my money in the Millie Maker with 50% Henley and have $20 left in my account. What should I play? I would play the 20 max $1. That's what I would play. And for future advice, Matt, please don't play in the Millionaire Makers. I know we all want to chase that, but if your bankroll is that limited that you're not willing to redeposit, then you never should have been putting the money in that stupid fucking tournament anyways. And eating that Henley chalk, my brother, did you watch the stream? What are we doing? I always seem to be drawn to donkey chalk. I'm a pathological bedwetter. Hey, Sugar Style, I got to tell you, for the first at least 2 years I played, I was just, man, if I heard the big name say somebody, oh, man, I got to play that guy. So, it's natural because, first of all, we don't always come into these things with strong opinions when you haven't been doing it for a whole bunch of years like I have. And second of all, when you hear somebody on a podcast talking or on YouTube talking, you just naturally are going to be inclined to be drawn to the people that they pick because you feel like they're a voice of authority because they're on the YouTubes or they're on the pod, right? And so it's okay. To this day, I naturally, the first instinct guys I have tend to end up being chalk. And the reason why is because they're good plays, right? The first guy I have in my head, oh, fuck, he's chalk. And, it sucks because I almost end up never playing those guys. I have a theory about guys who, with their country's flags on DraftKings photo, go naturally underowned. Jason, that's an interesting theory. I've never considered that, but you know what? It doesn't seem bad because people are thinking, I'm not going to play that guy. He ain't got no picture. He must suck balls. I think there's something to that, Jason. I dig the cut of your jib and your theories, brother. Why do my sneaky picks end up being donkey chalk? Matt, I can tell you this. If you just go look at my ownership, I basically can get you an idea if your guy's going to be donkey chalk, right? Sometimes ownership's off 2 or 3 points on a guy, but it's never 12% off where you thought you were getting a guy at 7% and he came in at 19 and now all of a sudden he's donkey chalk. That just doesn't happen if you're getting your information from people that know what the fuck they're doing with projections. Does having no cut this week benefit the fish or the sharks more? Definitely the fish. You could just randomly put a lineup together this week and the only edge there is this week, right, is basically playing the ownership leverage game. Okay, that's really it. Unless somebody magically knows how this course is going to play and who's a good course fit, but let's face it, everybody's just fucking guessing about that. So I would say that the edge between the sharks and the fish this week is much thinner than it normally is. Part of the reason I'm rolling back my bankroll and saving it to where I still have a bigger edge on the fish, which is definitely in Showdown, right? Preferred lineup construction, stars and scrubs are more balanced. I can just go ahead and tell you this, dental floss, that almost everybody is doing, not everybody, but a much larger percentage of people will do a stars and scrubs build. And here's what I would tell you. You definitely need guys above 9,500 this week. So if you're talking balance, like starting at Sung Jae and going down from there, that's a terrible idea. That's not a good build. You need guys 9,500 and above, at least one or two of them. But where you could really start to differentiate is go look at that $8,000 range. Everybody except Cam Young is a pretty nice pivot. Cam Young and Neiman are the only two that seem to be getting any ownership there. So that's a place where you can really start to make a balanced lineup. Go Xander and Scheffler to start your lineup. Then drop down and hit two of those lower-owned 8K guys. And now you've kind of got like a balanced lineup. And then you could probably go grab two 7K guys, and that would probably be a lineup that would work. And you can have a balanced lineup that still has a good amount of win equity. That's the problem with doing a truly balanced lineup where your highest owned guy is like Cam Young or your highest price guy is Cam Young. That's not a lineup you want to build because your win equity for that whole lineup's legit going to be like 9%. And you got to have the winner. I mean, this week more than ever, you have to have the winner or your lineup has no chance of doing anything good. I mean, no chance because everybody has 6 of 6s this week, except for the 4% of people that are going to be let down with decky withdrawals. I didn't say it. All right, here we go. Jesse wants to know, do you have a narrative to the guys who have auto-qualified to those who need to grind it out? I don't really have one, Jesse, but I will say somebody like Kevin Kisner loves money, and he's right there at 28th, so I do think he will be motivated to stay focused, whereas guys who are already up in the top 10 and basically already have spots locked down, I do think if they get off to a slow start, they won't grind for you. But the problem is that's all the high-dollar guys, so you can't really fade them. But if there was like a low-price guy that was already sitting in like 17th place and basically already had next week locked down, you could get into the whole motivation part of it, yes. Any interest in List? Volatile AF. I liked List quite a bit. I like the long distance. I like the ball striking. But the thing with List is I kind of have him coming in at about double the ownership of all those other guys down there in the 6,000 and 6,100 range, and I don't like him twice as much as I like those other guys. Why would I play him at 5% when I could go play other guys at 2.5? That's basically what I decided down there. I can't say that I'm going to be the guy that pivots everywhere and then not pivot off Luke List. I mean, I know it's a tiny pivot, but it's still a pivot, right? If one of those guys at the bottom goes off, I only want to be sharing them with 2% of the field, not 5% of the field. That's how I'm thinking. How do you feel about tiers this week? S-Clear, have not even looked at tiers, my brother. Let's see. Tiers. I'm going to look at it right now while I got it up on the screen. Total prizes. $8, $5,000 to first. Let's see. Let's go draft a team. I just want to see what they got here real quick. The first one, your choices is Rory or Rom. Okay, not a great start, Bob. All right. Yeah, I mean, it does look like a lot of places where you could differentiate. A lot of places you could differentiate. I just don't love the prize pool, man. I have a hard time getting excited about $5,000 to first, and that's 1/3 of the whole prize pool. That's the only thing I don't like about it. I wish they would make tiers more serious. Week 1 NFL tiers, beautiful. Who will be the lowest owned golfer in the entire tournament? I'll go Mark Leishman. I think I got him at like 2.1% or something like that. Awesome. I suck. That was my idea. Okay, not sure what that means. There was the winner, so getting caught up pretty quick. DePeach wants to know, would ownership pivot be the way to attack tiers? Absolutely. And tiers with no cut, I mean, literally just the number one play is just always play the less owned guy 100% of the time. Tier 1, they're both going to probably be roughly 50% owned between Rory and Rom, but in tiers, of these 5 right here, Will Zalatoris will definitely be the lowest owned. And this one, Sam Burns will definitely be the lowest owned. And this one, Decky will be the lowest owned. Lowry will be low owned. Kim will be low owned. Spieth will be. Basically, everybody's just going to play Cam Young and Joaquin Neiman in this one. Tier 5, I mean, Homa is just a better golfer than all those guys. Who will be the lowest owned in this one? I mean, probably Henley. Probably Henley. Okay, moving right along. Let's see. I'm almost to the bottom. Let's go. I read Morikawa has his fade back and went back to conventional putting grip. Let's ride. If that's true, that's a good reason, but there's no way I'm playing 20% on Morikawa. If he comes in lower and he wins, I'll feel like a dumbass. There you go, brother. Patrick Reed or Brandel Chambly in a cage match? I think Patrick Reed is a baby back bitch, so I'm pretty sure Brandel Chambly could take him. I had Sepp and Zalatoris in my main lineup and barely cashed. How am I such a donkey? Yeah, that's crazy. It must have been like a 4 or 6 or something, because that's a good combination to have up top. All right, guys, that looks like that's it. I appreciate you being here. Don't forget to come back for Friday and Saturday night for the Showdown, hoedown, and don't forget to be looking out for all that football content. I appreciate you guys being here. Don't lose your excitement for PGA. It's going to continue next week. It's going to continue this weekend. It's going to continue into the fall swing, and that is where the money is made. Roll with me. Don't be a bitch. You can do football and golf. It's been real, guys. I hope you enjoy my outro. I am out. Oh, wait, my guy's blocking it. Now I'm out.